First year, there was 4 women in our course, and half of them came to the course with an expectation of, like, when you say games development using computers, like, it sounds really fun. It sounds you're going to be spending all your time playing Xbox or whatever, but because it's basically all the aspects of a computing course, and then you're doing the extra, which is developing games, which a lot of people think is going to be easy. You're going to be like making a little character and making them walk around, but in reality it's not easy at all. Well, girls give you a different view on games. Like, nowadays, games aren't just made for men, and in the start, it was very male-oriented. You look at games like Tomb Raider, you're a Tomb Raider, girls were always portrayed like with massive boobs and a massive ass and like a really slim figure, that kind of way. And nowadays you have to be much more, games are made now for both sexes. I'd say nowadays girls play as much games as guys. Like, look at Facebook, that's all really crappy flash games that people just get addicted to, that kind of way.
So you think if there was more girls in your class, the more girls would be attracted to it because it wouldn't be so testosterone based? Or
yeah, and the games you'd be making, there'd be, if there's a woman's influence as well as a man, it's going to be a much better game.
I'm currently working as a production coordinator for RT Radio, but I also do research then as well for the news. Yeah, well, at the moment I'm doing maternity cover, so it's just a 6-month contract, but there may be an option to extend that come February. But if that doesn't happen, hopefully I'll get in doing either research or doing more technical elements. So either going into camera work. With regards to starting a family, the stable option may be best, because with freelancing you wouldn't necessarily know when your next full-time job is coming in, or when your next fully paid job is coming in. You could be living on limited means and having to make sacrifices in certain areas of your life in order to provide for other areas of your life, which you can't. It's harder to do when you're having to, look after baby and whoever else may be involved. But no, I think, yeah, with regards to Family UK, probably it would be better to have the full-time job.
I'd rather go for stable, but judging the way things are, probably like more freelance jobs you get. If I could pick, I'd want stable, because you'd want job security, and so that you wouldn't be working 80 hours a week when you can have time off in the evenings, kind of have your fun balance with everything.
yeah, but you would be willing to work in a freelance position to get where you wanted to go.
Yeah, so that you kind of build up a little bit of a portfolio kind of to show, and then hopefully get into that stable job then once you have all your little jobs done to show how good you are. Our office was made up of 4 guys and 2 girls, so it was very male orientated. And what I found was one of the other girls, she was organising everything, the lads couldn't organise. And So that's basically more like women bring different aspects of it. Like they were all like programming and sorting out that kind of background stuff. Whereas, you know, they kind of maybe leave to organising, maybe it's a bit stereotypical, that they'd leave to organising to the girls. Well, I think lads put a different spin on it. They kind of, I don't know, they're not more professional, but they kind of put like, they're more confident the way they speak. So they can like, they kind of voice it more that, you know, oh well, my idiot's class anyway, so I'll just put it there. Whereas a girl kind of tries to put it out there and like wants to go to people's opinions. Whereas lads are like, oh, this is my opinion, that's it. I'll just be more confident and like not be scared of being yourself and voicing your own opinion, like, because if you hold back then you're just going to be left in the background and nobody's going to really notice you.
There is an imbalance in regards to ratio.
In your experience?
From what I've observed, I wouldn't say my experience because I haven't been working in the industry that long, but just with regards to, yeah, it's strange. It might be mindset or whatever, but there seems to be a lot more women in supporting roles than there are in leading roles, if that makes any sense. Most of the women that I would be dealing with would be, say, doing other administration work, so they would be in like Galway or in Dublin itself, but physical or one-to-one contact with women wouldn't necessarily be doing too much. Physically, there would be, just with regards to health and safety, like RT follow the general health and safety guidelines, so as a woman I'm only allowed to lift X amount and lift X amount, carry X amount, so I am. I'd say probably would have to work a little bit harder, just because, as I was saying, like it might be the same amount of people working, but I don't know if it's evenly distributed the workload. So to get maybe taken seriously, yeah, you probably would. Society's attitudes, maybe. Because like, okay, fair enough, in the modern age we're becoming more accepted that women are able to do A, B and C as well as men. But again, we know that there are certain things that women are not able to do as well as men, and certain things that men aren't able to do as well as women. So people are still aware of those mindsets and still follow those sort of old-fashioned status quos.
I get quite anxious actually very often about the lack of security in our situation financially, given that we've got children. Which means that there isn't really a choice for Dennis and I, because at this stage of our careers it's very difficult to go back and work in academia or in a fixed position. So it just means that we've got to work extra hard, really very hard to make sure that the work keeps happening and keeps coming in, so. But at the same time, it's very liberating, very free.
But I think it's just basically drive more so than anything. So, like, if you've got the drive to do it, you will do it. And it just seems to be that the opportunity becomes more for men. Like there's not so many obstacles that way, I suppose, with regards, like, say, if women start to have a family, they're going to be taken out of the loop for that length of time. But again, it's either you've planned it or it's an adoption that you make, and if you are willing to do it, then you can cope and deal with it. Because I know women who have actually I know Wonder Women who have literally done a course while pregnant, had the child, gone on to get the job, gone on to get the better job, and they're still working in the industry. So, it's your own drive, I think, that all boils down to.
So you think the biggest disadvantage would be pregnancy?
just because of the physical limitations that it puts on a woman, yeah. But that's life, unfortunately.